Anyone else?
While we're waiting on that, can you hear me? Sarah and I are standing up here, and it's being recorded, so you must talk into a mic, or you will not get recorded, and nobody can hear your question.
There's
So if you
no
have a
questions today.
question,
We're not taking any questions.
Then Sarah and I'll go sit down.
All right, we're ready to go. All right. So where was I? I don't even remember. We're going to... Yeah. We're going to remind you about the plan that we have in place, what the construction is actually going to be. We'll talk about a phasing plan. We'll talk about those impacts that might be happening to you through this process, and then take any questions y'all might have, okay? Remind y'all, like I said earlier, anything I'm saying today as far as timelines and plans could change. For those that have been through construction projects before, Scotia Village is famous for people opening walls and going, didn't know that was there. And when that happens in construction, it can be a delay. So we know that will happen at some point in this process as well. So without further ado, let me remind you of what the project actually will entail. This is the dining room, the office areas, marketing, and the cafe. So basically what we'll be doing is switching the style of service. Cafe, bistro style of service will switch to an expanded dining room up here, and then the restaurant style of service will switch to down here. We'll expand the admin offices to include a larger conference room for everybody, expanded bathrooms, and some bigger offices or expanded office space as well. And then on the marketing side, we'll be expanding their offices and orienting the entrance to their offices to this hallway here. Remember, construction will be going all the way out towards the sidewalks at the front of the building. So the front of the building will be expanded as well. That's a quick synopsis of what the project will be. I'm pretty sure you all are familiar with that. If you're not, please stop by the office. I'm happy to go over any details. If you're a new resident, that kind of thing, happy to talk with you about it. We have selected a contractor. It's Fitz and Goodwin General Contractors. They are based out of Columbia, South Carolina, but they also have an office in Raleigh, North Carolina. Sharif Aziz is a project manager. He's based out of Raleigh. I don't know if anybody was here during the healthcare renovations. I know a lot of y'all were back in 2015-16. He was the project manager. Some of y'all may even recognize him. He was on property a lot back in that time doing the healthcare center when we did the renovation down there. And so he has familiarity with our building. He was working with a different company then, but he has familiarity with our building. And Duran Hill is a site manager. I didn't have a picture of him. Duran is the guy that's going to be here every day. He also was part of that project back in 2016, so he has familiarity with our building as well. Fitz and Goodwin has experience working in occupied space, which is what this will be, and I think they're going to do a great job for us. From what I remember, Sharif, when he was here before, he did an excellent job, and he was new at it then, and this is 9 years later, so I'm sure we're going to benefit from his expertise. So the project is going to be phased in 2 phases. Phase 1, and again, remind y'all, this is the dining room, bar, outdoor area, admin, marketing, and the cafe. Okay, so the first phase is going to be sections 1, 3, and 4 will be phase 1. And as they keep going and as they finish this part, the second phase will be 2, 3, and 4. So you notice that 3 and 4 are going to be taking the whole time, whereas 1 and 2 will be about half the time, okay? Since we'll be taking office space, we'll be moving people because they can't be in the offices when their construction is going on. So these are the temporary changes to the offices. I don't have a place for me yet. I wanted to make sure the team was all located where they need to be, and I'll find me a space. I have some ideas in mind. I'll let you know what that is when I finally decide on one. Helen will be, if y'all remember the construction, Ms. McIntosh was here back in 2010-11 when we did the construction of the office space over there, the renovation. We moved Felicia to the center closet right back here, and this is where we're going to put Helen as well. Sounds kind of crazy, but it works really well. This room is empty most of the time. And that door closes, is very private in there. There's plenty of space. You all will have access to her as you need to get to her for the different things you see her for. The copy machine will probably be back here as well, but we're going to have Helen back there in the back of this room. She's excited about it, let me tell you. Yeah. Shar will be moving, some of y'all may remember that during, that we moved HR down towards healthcare not too long ago. And recently, she moved back up to the front of the building. So she's going to go back down to healthcare where she was, which is good, temporarily. Myra, Alicia, and Jake, they're going to be taking the gathering room. All three of them will be in there, so pray for them. They're all really good people, so I think it's going to be fine. They're going to work really well together. They're going to be in the gathering room. And we'll find spaces, too, for y'all, because I know sometimes you need to have personal conversations with one of them, and we'll find those spaces for you to do that as well. Linda Nelson will be going up to Heather Glen temporarily. Some of y'all may know that Charles Lowry retired his office out of EVS. His office was up in Heather Glen, so we've left it vacant for the past couple weeks, and Linda will be going up there. Will, Chrissa, and Barbara will be going to Discovery Unit 226, which is on the second floor. It's the Discovery Unit is where people that come in, prospects might stay. Some of y'all may have stayed in 226 before, but they'll be taking that. There's a living room, a bedroom, a kitchen, so they'll be able to do office space in the front area, then maybe conference space, and they'll figure that out. But that's where they'll be. Jane Henson will be, and I'll talk about that more in a minute, she'll be going to the moved reception area, which will be over towards the fitness center. Okay? Any questions on that? All right, hearing none. Let's talk about phase one. This is a layout of phase one. Again, remember phase one involves all this space, which is the dining room, the outdoor space here, and the bar area, okay? It involves this space here, which is the office areas, and then the living room and lobby here. It involves this space here, which is the marketing offices here. The red lines you see will be probably about approximately where the barriers of construction will be put up. There'll be either fencing or construction walls. And this is very important. Please stay out of the construction area. I know you won't listen to me, but please stay out of the construction area. It's dangerous to go in there, especially at the beginning when they're doing demolition. There'll be a lot of stuff going on in there, so if you get curious at midnight, please don't go in there. There might be times where we can bring folks in just to have them take a look around under a controlled situation, but as a general rule, please stay out of any of these areas as we go through the process. But you can see there'll be a construction wall here at the dining room entrance, going across the bar entrance, and then there'll be fencing of some kind going around the outside here, halfway down the patio or somewhere in this area, and then across the back, and then down the side over here, because there'll be work in all these areas. I'm not sure how they're going to do the living room lobby yet. I put these two walls here. I'm thinking they're going to keep the living room open, and it won't be closed at the same time as this, but I'm not sure yet. So I just put the walls there so y'all can see where they could be. And then there will be a wall going out, or fencing going out this way at the front of the building. This is the main entrance here, so there'll be fencing going here because there'll be construction going on. Path of egress will always be available here. This is a stairwell across from the bar area, so there'll always be an emergency path of egress open for us to get out of the building in case something happens. On the marketing side, there'll be another barrier of some kind built around this area here because this is where the construction will be taking place. The first two rows of parking on my side of the building, right outside from where my office is located, will be closed for temporarily anyways. I'm hoping the second row will be open at some point, but I want to go ahead and say both rows might be closed because I'm not sure how much room they will need when they're doing the construction here. There'll be a concrete trucks in here, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to say those first two rows in front of my office will be closed, and hopefully I'll be opening them up because we don't need both rows to be closed, okay? The main entrance will be moving down here to the fitness center. We're going to take parts of Jane's reception desk up there, move it over there out in front of Sarah's office, kind of that lobby area where the entrance to like the treatment room where massages are, the locker rooms, the fountain, that's kind of going to be where the reception area is. We're thinking we're going to put some type of, I don't know what it will be, something to cover the aerobics room and the equipment room so those exercising don't have to feel exposed to people coming in and out of the front door, the new front door. So we'll figure that part out. But that made the most sense to make that the main entrance. So that's what we're going to be doing. UPS packages will be dropped off there. You'll be able to pick those up. This hallway will be open all the time, all the way down to your mail area. You'll be able to get your mail and all, and MEC, all that will be open. So this hallway will be clear during the whole construction process, except on those occasions where they have to put new carpet or LVP down, and that right now is being planned to be done in the evening hours when most people aren't out and about in the building, say like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock start time, something like that. A start date we're looking at is somewhere around late August, early September is what we're thinking will be a start date for this. It will take about 4 to 6 months to do this area here. So while this area is closed, y'all got to have somewhere to eat. I've mentioned this to y'all before. The plan right now is for all dining services to be served out of the current cafe. This area down here is where that round table usually sits. You can get more people around that table. We're going to take that table out, and we're hoping to be able to put a buffet service here, so you'll be able to get the same type of food that you're used to getting in the dining room down here, and then have regular cafe service with the burgers and all that kind of stuff still available. So you still be able to get both types of meals, but it'll all be in one location. Seating capacity, of course, is not as vast as it is in the current dining room, so we're looking to extend hours, and we'll let you know what all those are as we get closer to time. But we'll make sure that there's plenty of time for you all to get in here, get your food, sit with your friends and have lunch. But you'll have to be a little bit flexible, because there may be times that you go there, it could be full. There could be 40 people sitting in there. You might have to think about spacing yourself out a little bit, but we'll work with y'all and figure out how best to do that. But again, all dining services, breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be served out of here. We're working on a plan, too, to get the current salad bar that's in the dining room area out of there, remove this one and put that one there during this time, because it's a bigger salad bar, has more stuff on it, so we want to be able to try to get that in there as well. Mr. Hill, you got wait, use the microphone.
During this first phase, that patio to the cafe would be available if anybody wanted to use it, correct?
Absolutely, yes, sir. Yeah, so exactly. There's a patio out here, and we know in the late September, October, the weather's November, it's beautiful out there. So thank you, Mr. Hill. There'll be opportunity there. We're working on team members. We just don't know how that will work. We know they'll still be coming getting their meals here, but we might make opportunity available for them up here or in the activity center that's down in the healthcare center as well for meals. Sunday dinner will be served out of the MMEC. We'll set up on Saturday for that. There won't be as many. I talked to Ken. He said sometimes on Sunday there can be over 100 people in there, especially towards the end. I think there's only capacity for about 90 in the MMEC, so that might have a little bit of adjusting that y'all might have to do. But we're still planning on making sure y'all have your Sunday lunch available, because that's important. I know a lot of people enjoy that out of this space. Any big meals, if it's at Thanksgiving, those type of things will also be in the MMEC as the project goes along. Okay. I think that's all for this page. Again, 4 to 6 months on this. These two areas are going to take the whole time. 10 to 14 months is the project time. So sections 3 and sections 4 will be being worked on the whole time, and hopefully will end when this ends over here, all close to the same time. But again, 4 to 6 months on that. Mr. Wayne.
I'm just curious, on the part in part 1 where the red line is,
Yes, sir.
that is going to be open, and the line with the little black line is going to is the existing wall, and there's not going to be a new wall out there, is there?
There will be you're talking about at the end?
Yes, the part that's now patio, well, it's actually grass, is going to become patio. Is it going to be enclosed?
No.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
This is just a construction barrier here. That's all that is. And these red walls are all temporary. They'll be building these walls just to keep us out. So keep everybody safe, all right? They will be, I had a question yesterday, and I'm glad Mr. Bergbauer brought it up, about where is the parking for construction going to be. Right now, we're working with St. Andrews. The plan now is for them to do their parking over in the St. Andrews parking lot. Is where they'll be having all the construction parking. They're also going to do their laydown over there, probably have their construction trailer with all their tools and stuff like that in that parking lot. They'll build a fence around it with some cameras and some lighting, that kind of thing, and that'll be on that campus. They'll be using where, I saw Mr. Olmstead a minute ago, where his motorhome is, and, or near there. They'll probably be coming in and out of the property that way. They'll come in the service entrance, make a left-hand turn, and wind their way back around the parking lot. Because St. Andrews, you know, they have that wire pulled across the road. They didn't want to have to mess with having people take it down, put it up, take it down, put it up. So we'll have them come through our property to get back to St. Andrews. There will also be those that were here when the healthcare renovation was going on will remember there was a construction trailer out here. This is the dining room, so out these windows looking over towards laundry and that little area back there, there'll be their construction trailer where Duran, the guy I mentioned earlier, that will be here every day on the project, that's where he'll be his home base. Okay?
My family is coming to visit in September.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like you to put this off until they arrive, but I'm sure that wouldn't be a popular visit. Okay. My family's coming to visit, so I'm very interested in knowing where the porta potties are going to be.
The porta potties?
Or are you going to allow the workers to use the restrooms?
Oh, they'll have that stuff set up I'm not sure where they'll put that yet. It's probably going to be over where their stuff is. I'll ask that question. I don't know where it's going to be.
I would like it not to be in my backyard.
Okay, yeah. We'll put it out in front of Sue's yard over here. Is where we'll put it over there. All right? Wait for a mic, Dr. Doubles.
Where will you want the Monday afternoon bridge to be played?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Jake and Myra and Sarah are working all that stuff out at the moment, and they'll be getting with those different groups about various locations and that are possible, and with your input, make decisions from there. His question was, where are things like the Bridge Club, you know, where people play mahjong, all that kind of stuff, the Friday social, all that kind of stuff. We'll figure out different places for them to be. Right there, Ms. Robley.
Since we're losing some parking and the main entrance is moving to the Wellness Center, what plans are being made in regards to, that's going to have to be a lot of pressure in parking on the Wellness Center.
Yeah, and then the second two rows will be open on this side over here. On the third and fourth row will be still available, and there's plenty of open parking there currently. Folks that have the handicap stickers that use the parking spaces, we're still working on a good plan for that. And we'll let you know what that is, but we're going to make sure parking is available. It could even be that some of us park over at St. Andrews with the other folk. So, you know, I mean, I think a lot of you know that I already park I might just park over at St. Andrews and get 10 or 15 other people willing to do that and clear some spots that way. But we'll work all that out. We'll make sure you have places to park. Okay? Ms. Sells?
Will the entrance on the garden apartment side be left open throughout this procedure?
Yeah, the garden apartments are not part of the project at all. That will be open.
The back entrance into the main building.
Yes, the D-wing
From
entrance
there.
will be in, thank you, that's a good question. So, yeah, the pool table will be open, that entrance there will be open, and also the D-wing entrance on the front side over here that goes over towards the bocce court and all that, that'll be open as well. Okay, good question, thank you. The entrance at the pool table, that door there, that will be available, as well as the door, if you came down the stairs and went out into the parking lot towards the bocce court, that door will be open too.
I usually get the entrance by the bocce court,
That's it. You still do it.
so I come into the...
Yep, you'll be able to come in right that door like you normally do. Okay?
Back to the parking, special events where there's outsiders coming in, will there be a room for them?
Yeah, we'll have to work all that out. That's another thing. Special events might be a little bit compromised as far as outside people coming in because our space is compromised. So we'll have to work through all that and figure out what we can do and can't do. But yeah, we'd figure out how to do parking. If that was the case, we might ask more employees to park at St. Andrews. Could be one of the options. Yeah, but we'll figure stuff like that out.
Good, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Y'all ready for phase two? All right. Ms. Gentry, if you would wait for the...
We,
Just,
we have an event scheduled for the 20th, September the 20th, here in the MEC. Will that be affected, or is something need to happen with that?
I don't know what that event is. I'm pretty sure we can work something out to make sure it works.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, so, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to figure something out.
It's a class reunion.
Yeah, we don't like class reunions, so you're gonna,
Well, I reckon that
we'll
answers that.
figure something out, Miss Gentry.
Will the main elevator be open the whole time?
The main elevator, the main elevator will be open all the time. The D-wing elevator will be open. The Heather Glen elevator will be operational, so all those won't be affected. Okay, good questions, y'all. All right, I'm gonna flip the screen, okay? Here we go. Phase 2. Poof. All right. They have now finished all this stuff, and it's ready to go. The bar's done, the bistro cafe's done, the new outdoor area's done, the patio back here is all complete, and we're ready to rock. We're going to give Ken and his team a couple of 3 weeks to get their act together. They're going to be training beforehand, but we know live training is what they're going to need. So when we're ready to open to everybody, they'll be as ready as they can be to serve y'all and meet y'all's expectations. So we're going to give his team a couple of 3 weeks to get their things together. We'll probably be inviting smaller groups in to go through the line to see how the flow works, that kind of thing. So when that's complete, we're going to transition everything from here, where you're eating, back over to here. So this area will now be closed. There'll be construction walls. I didn't put them, I should have, here and here to keep us out. All right, they're going to do a little door, probably somewhere over here where one of the windows currently are located, and that's where they're going to be entrance door, because they don't want to be bringing a bunch of materials through the hall, disrupting the flow of traffic. So they're going to be working with us about making sure all the big stuff kind of comes through this little door they're going to build over there. And you can't open it. You have to find a secret brick, and you have to push it. And so it's going to be, anyways. Yeah, so you can see that the fence has changed a little bit. And this might not be exactly right. It might be all the way down this way, down the sidewalk and over. But this will be kind of their staging area for some of the stuff going in and out into this space here. This construction over here will still be going on as well as this construction here. So the parking over here still will be affected, however we end up being affected. Hopefully it's just the first row, but it might be the first 2 rows still being affected. So this is going to take 4 to 6 months to do, and this 10 to 14. Hopefully the plan is for these things to all end at the same time. If that happens, it'll be awesome, and we'll all jump around and sing. But I'm not sure that will happen or not. But that's the plan at this point. Mr. McNulty.
Yes, you've got the main entrance designated with an arrow, but there's no way to get there.
Yeah, that's just for orientation, Mr. McNulty. So when you're looking at this map, you can kind of understand the layout of the building.
So you go to the left of it where there
No,
is
you'll be still going. This will still be the main entrance here.
Where?
At Fitness Center.
Your dot is not showing.
Yeah, this is not the end of the building. So the entrance is maybe right here. Let's follow the dot. Woo! Yeah, right at the red dot. Yes, ma'am.
Funding all of this?
Huh?
Where the funds coming from for this?
Yeah, as we've mentioned before, we're using cash and reserves to pay for the project. Other questions? All right, so when they're all done at the same time, we're going to have this. This is what it's going to look like at the end. It's the same slide that we had at the beginning. Again, Ken and his team's going to need a little bit of time to figure their stuff out down here and make sure it all works the way they need to. And then that will be open, and this venue will already have been open and being used for 6 months. So we'll have the new office spaces, the new conference room for y'all and us, as well as the new bathrooms will be available too, and everything will be done, and we'll be happy and smiling and all those type of things. Yeah, Mr. McNulty, wait.
Earliest date for the finished project.
There's not really a date. It's 10 to 14 months.
So that would be not this year and probably not next year.
No, it'll probably be next year.
Late next year.
Yeah, so I'm thinking probably June-ish. Yeah. So June-ish encompasses May through November. But their goal is to get done as quickly as possible. So however we need to do that is what we're going to be working towards. Ms. Ward.
I may have missed it, but I'm just wondering what's going to be done with the front entrance that we have now.
Yeah, they're going to be, it was part of the presentation about the remodeling of everything. She's asking what will be the change. So all this is going to be remodeled. There'll be a new front desk. There'll be new carpeting. The living room will be redone with new carpeting, new, what do you call the molding or I can't think of the word. The built-ins, like the fireplace, all that stuff will be redone. All that's going to be renovated. Yes, it still will be the front entrance. Yes.
Question. John Cottingham asked him. From what I hear you saying, the finish date is open, that you don't have a complete by date or a penalty for the contractors if they don't meet that date in your contract?
Yeah, they have a date that we want them to finish by, but there's not a drop-dead date that they have to be done by. No, sir. There's not. Most of the projects that we have done before hasn't had that.
So it could go on a whole lot longer than you.
It's not going to go on that. I mean, I feel
Okay.
I feel very confident in the 10 to 14 month time frame. Other questions? Because this is the last slide. Ms. Johnson, wait.
Will the beautiful rose garden be affected?
Well, we're going to bring all the deer in and just have them eat all the roses before. No, it will not be affected. It'll be fine.
Good.
Yeah.
I'll send my deer this at
Yeah.
my back window to you.
The question was, will the rose garden be affected? So they'll have explicit instructions not to damage any of the roses during construction, yes. Ms. Edwards.
Alan, when the construction is finished, the area, which is now the cafe, will be the dining room, correct?
It'll be a restaurant style.
All right. What will happen on Sunday?
Sunday will be, you'll have your meal in the bistro area because that has a larger capacity.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are a few of us that look directly out on this main construction area. And how much disruption is it going to be for the residents who are looking down?
Yeah, well, thank you for asking.
And especially, what time in the morning
Yeah.
are they going to start?
We've told them no earlier than 6:15. No. I think it's going to be 8 o'clock. It'll be an 8 o'clock start time, and they'll knock off at a decent time, like 5, 6 o'clock. And except those nights that they're doing the carpet, and they'll come in later. And there's no doubt about it, this is going to be inconvenient, y'all. There's no way around it. There's going to be noise for those that have apartments that are above or next to, the construction area. There's going to be some noise during the demolition part. That first week or so, it's going to be loud, and there's going to be a lot of people moving around. There's going to be some saws, there's going to be all that kind of stuff, and there's just no way to avoid those type of things. But we're going to try to make it as convenient as we can be, knowing it's an inconvenient situation. Mr. Reverend Froman.
All old men want to know where the bathrooms will be during construction.
Yeah. Well, as we know, they're going to be doing construction on these bathrooms at some point. We'll keep them open as long as we can. But when they're compromised, you're going to have to use the bathrooms over here or down in the fitness center. And we can put a porta potty in your front yard. Other questions? I told the group yesterday, this is it's going to be a process, and y'all's input as we go through this is important too. We all know it's going to be inconvenient, but we want to hear if you have thoughts or ideas as we get going, or even now, please let us know. If we can make it better, we want to be able to do that, knowing it's just going to be hard to go through anyways. Ms. Robley?
Alan, originally you had estimated $7 million for the reno.
Mhm.
How did that come in terms of that number?
It's right at that.
With a built-in contingency, I mean.
Yeah, it's got, that's
overruns?
including the contingency and everything.
All right. And was any discussion regarding whether there's problems, availability of materials, cost increases, that kind of thing? Because obviously, everyone knows currently we're kind of in an uncertain time.
Yeah, they've built in some possibilities of increases in their estimates, the construction people have. So that's part of what their bid was. And we're going to start ordering, they're already ordering things at this point. They're already ordering kitchen equipment, all that kind of stuff, so it can already be here. Because kitchen equipment and things like that is already taking a while to get. Building materials, not as much, but equipment is what's really taking a long time to get. But they're taking care of all that now, and that's going to be on the construction company to keep the cost down. Mr. Fisher, or Ms. Claybaugh got it first.
Okay, this might be something everybody knows because it hasn't come up, but I don't know it. The regular meal that we have in the dining room every day for $8, the healthy regular meal, is that going to be available, or is it just going to be fast food versus order off the menu kind of thing?
It's the latter. The meal service you currently have is going to be completely different on the other side of this. So it's not going to be lunch, go through the line. It's going to be different. It's either you're going to go to the restaurant style or you're going to go through the bistro. The difference is the restaurant style will have an expanded menu from what you're currently used to, and there'll be also more available in the new bistro area as well. There'll be more options for you to have.
Okay, so my question then, if you want a healthy, balanced meal like we have now for $8, will it still be $8 in the fancy order off
Yeah.
the menu thing?
And some pricing will change as well. We don't know what those are at this point, Ms. Claybaugh, but Ken and I are working on how to figure all that out. There will be a meal of the day available every day in the new bistro, which will be a starch, a meat, a vegetable, that kind of thing. That will still be available, but we're not exactly sure what the price is. Mr. Fisher.
Alan, now that there's an expansion of office space and bigger spaces and stuff like that, is there any consideration to revamping the air conditioning system?
The air conditioning system in the building?
Yeah. Yes.
They'll be doing some work. I'm not sure as far as new equipment or I'm not sure exactly what you're asking.
Capacity.
Yeah, they'll be adjusting all that, yes, as thank you. Yeah, the engineers have worked all that out. I don't know the exact answer to what they're going to be doing, but they'll be working all that out. Ms. Hooks?
Will the clinic area be where it is now? The clinic area be where it is now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Clinic. Ms. McIntosh, hold on, don't say anything yet. Let the microphone come.
I have been here 25 years, and a second floor general bathroom has been asked for. Millions have been spent on other things. Why, oh why can't there be a second floor bathroom?
Good question. It's not part of this project, Ms. McIntosh, but I understand what you're saying.
Again, the same problem.
Yeah, I understand.
I have a general question that may not be related to this, but do we have any feedback on what may be happening to St. Andrews? And if, the rumor is that Scotia's going to buy some of the property, and if they buy some of the property, is that going to be incorporated into what you're doing?
Yeah, before we get to St. Andrews, is there any other questions about this? Okay. Hearing no other questions, the latest I have on St. Andrews is that there's local folk trying to get control of the bonds. So it's under local control. That's what's going on right now. And if that happens, the plan would then be to piecemeal it out to interested parties, and Scotia Village would be interested in it. We're nowhere near knowing what those opportunities might be. There's still a lot going on behind the scenes. That if we did get some land over there, it wouldn't impact this project necessarily. But yeah, we're definitely interested in some of the property over there. I think everybody knows one of the big problems is the buildings. As part of this development plan that the community's trying to put together, which is one of the reasons I love Scotland County. There's a group of people really working hard to try to make something positive happen out of what happened over there. And our history in Scotland County is when people put their heads together, a lot of times good things happen. So I'm feeling pretty good about what could happen over there. But in the meantime, we just don't know what's going to happen. And those buildings over there are going to have to go. But as far as this plan goes, they're thinking about ways to incorporate taking down a lot of those buildings as part of this plan. How it's all going to work out, I don't know. There's still a lot of moving parts and lots of contingencies that are happening, but there's some positive momentum about it. I don't know if that answered your question, but it's really a big, giant question mark still. Mr. Robley?
This is a back to Scotia question. We have 4 significant Japanese maples here, 2 in the back and 2 in the front of the building, worth a lot of money. Is there part of the plan to get those removed and saved, or are they just going to rip them out and probably throw away $15,000 to $20,000 worth of plant material?
Yeah, thank you. We're working with a landscape person now about what we can do and what we can save. I'm not sure where they are with their planning on that. That'd be a little bit, we have a little bit of time, not a whole lot to think about it, but he's supposed to be getting back with us about what we can save and what we can't save. Other questions? If anybody has individual questions, I'll stick around for a few minutes. My office door is always open. But again, I'm pretty excited to be at this point in the project. I hope that some of you are. I know some of you all are dreading the whole process happening. But the sooner it starts, the sooner it can be done. And I think we'll all benefit on the other side of it. It's going to be a really good project. So thank you for attending today. And again, if you have any questions afterwards, I'll be here, or my office is always open. But thank you for being here.